Welcome, Second Baptist, and to all of our friends to Family Check In. Hope you had a wonderful day in the Lord, and thank God for all of you, and we appreciate you joining in. Please hit start a watch party, let everybody know we're on, and please log on, let us know that you are watching. We're really grateful and thankful for you, and we're blessed to be here today. We had a wonderful day in service today, and I was not here. I was in South Carolina doing a good friend of mine's pastoral anniversary, Sister Daisy and I, with the Reverend Kippy Brown in Florence, South Carolina. And so tomorrow I'll be back in Atlantic City, and I know we had a great time today with all of our preachers. We got some homegrown preachers who are doing a phenomenal job, and we're thankful and grateful for each and every one of them. I did get a chance to listen to the choir, and they were phenomenal as usual, and now you're going to hear from them, and then I'll be right back. We've got a very, very special guest who shared with us on our Educators Day, Appreciation Day, Dr. Chris Hall, all the way from Morris College in Sumter, South Carolina. He's going to be with us today and some really great information to share. And so after the choir come and bless us again, we'll be right back.
Come on, sopranos. All I need. Come on with the altos. Tenors and baritones, join them. All I need. All I need. All I need. All I need. Said I'm wrapped up. Said I'm wrapped up. Tied up. Tied up. Tangled up. Tangled up. In Jesus. In Jesus. Tangled up in Jesus. Tangled up. All I need. He's all I need.
rich or poor, to the one in need, to the beggar man, and even to the thief. Remember, God cares. Ooh,
We want to welcome Dr. Chris Hall to Family Check-In tonight, and all the way from Mars College, Sumter, South Carolina. And we've been partnering with him and Mars and getting some of our students from the local area to go, and we're really excited about that. And and he has a wealth of information to share with us about what it's HBCU. Not only that, one of my oldest son graduated from Mars College, and we're really grateful and thankful for his education and the relationship that we have with Mars College down through the years. Welcome, Dr. Hall.
Well, Pastor Days, thank you. It's an honor to be here and talk to your audience about all the wonderful opportunities available at Morris College.
We were really thankful, just recently, and that you were able to get a large number of people from Pleasantville as well as Atlantic City to come to Mars. And but first of all, before we go all that, you're a homeboy from South Carolina. Tell us what your position is at Mars College. What do you do?
Okay, so I am the interim enrollment management specialist at Morris College, which basically means I supervise all of the recruitment efforts of the college, the financial aid area, and all of the records. So it's my job basically to get new students into Morris College.
Well, that's a big job, and I'll tell you, I've been watching you and following you, and you have been doing a phenomenal job. I'm gonna call the president and tell him you need a raise because of all the great work that you're doing there. How long have you been with Mars, and how long have you been in education? Let's get some background.
Okay, so I've been in education a little over 25 years now, always in higher education. I started off as an instructor and worked my way all the way up to president of a smaller 2-year college, and now I've been at Morris for about a year now.
Now that 2-year college, I'm familiar with that. It's all the way in the great metropolis of Denmark, right?
Yes, sir. Denmark, South Carolina. Denmark Technical College.
Denmark Technical College. I've been there several times, so I'm very familiar with Denmark and that area of South Carolina. Matter of fact, I was down in that area last year before last. I was back in that area. So you've been at Mars for 1 year, and you started out. Was this your position that you came to? You started out in?
Well, actually, I started off assisting the president with some special problems as sort of like his chief of staff. But he asked me to step over and take over enrollment because he needed some extra help and my expertise in that area. So for about the last year or so, I've been leading the enrollment efforts at the college.
Tell us a little bit about Mars College.
Well, Morris College, and what I like about it is my mom was a graduate of Morris College. My younger sister is a graduate of Morris College, and her son is a student there right now. So Morris College is totally owned and operated by the Baptist Education and Missionary Convention of South Carolina. So it's a black-owned college. And it's been in existence for 114 years. And it was created basically to provide educational opportunities for former slaves and the sons and daughters of former slaves, because otherwise they would not have access to higher education. When Morris was first created, it was created to produce two things: preachers and teachers. And since that time, we've expanded to over 21 different academic majors. Right now, our hot new majors are criminal forensics and cybersecurity.
It's interesting that you said that. I passed in South Carolina for 13 and a half years, part of the South Carolina State E&M Convention, and we did a lot of raising money for Mars College. I even took classes there at Mars before, even after I went to state, doing some things at Mars. And worked with the long-running, president of Mars, Dr. Lumsey Richardson, was a good friend of ours as well, and many of the staff at Mars. And like I said, my son went to Mars, and which was very interesting. I felt for him that Mars was the best fit for him. And very interestingly, my son was about to go to school the week that I was supposed to take him down to Mars. And my son said, Dad, my friend would like to go to Mars. I said, what do you mean? We're a week away from school, and now you're telling me that you've got a friend that wants to go to Mars. And he said, Dad, can you please see if we can get him into Mars? And I made a call, and then, in less than an hour, we'd already made arrangements. Everything worked out to bring him. And that's the kind of place that Mars has been. They have been very flexible, very open to being flexible enough and thinking out of the box to encourage our kids to come. And you have come and brought that same kind of attitude to make sure that our kids that may not be as high performing can get an opportunity to go to Mars and succeed.
You're exactly right. And one thing that I always try to make people understand about Morris College is that Morris College, we're a big family. We average between 400 and 600 students a year, and everybody knows everybody. So, young people don't have to worry about going to an institution and getting lost in the numbers. We know our students, we know things about them, we know their dreams, we know what they want to accomplish, and we do everything in our power to make sure they're successful. Even the students that we have from this area right now at Morris College, they're active, they're engaged, and they're loving it. And so that's why I'm back up here again, because I want to get more of that. I want to provide opportunities for young people from the Atlantic City and surrounding areas to come down and experience all that is Morris College and the opportunities and doors that we can open for them.
One of the things you did that I thought was so impactful is that not only you accepted students right on the spot, and then provided, because some of our students in Atlantic City don't get a chance to get out of the city that much. They don't have the exposure. They may not necessarily have the parental support. And you sent a bus up and brought all these kids to tour the college, and so they could get. And Mars College is a beautiful campus, and it's centrally located. And the wonderful thing about Mars, the state capitol is only
30 minutes away.
30 minutes away. Then you in the close vicinity, you got other colleges. You got South Carolina State about 40 minutes away, and Claflin and Benedict, all these HBCUs that these kids and students they go and visit each other and those kind of things, which makes Mars an excellent place to be, and the support system that you give is just unbelievable. Now, you talked about preachers and teachers. I know a lot of preachers that come through Mars, a lot of preachers. But also, you guys, when it comes to teaching, you guys have, I remember at hearing, because all the teachers have to take the teacher's exam, that you've got a tremendous record with teachers coming out and passing the teacher's exam.
Yes, we do. Like I mentioned earlier, Morris was founded to create preachers and teachers. So one of our foundational programs is our teacher education program. We have 2 divisions in that area, early childhood education and elementary education. But the unique thing about our teacher education program is that our students take the praxis at the end of their second year. At the end of their sophomore year, they take the praxis. So by the time they graduate from college, they have already passed the National Teachers Exam, and they can go anywhere and be a teacher in this country. And one thing that I really like about this program is that our teachers, before they graduate, they have several job offers, not just one, but several job offers, so they have the opportunity to decide what's going to be the best fit for them.
And I think that's so important because, even here in New Jersey, there's a tremendous lack of black teachers in our school system, and especially black males. And and then for you to graduate so many, what percentage of what's the graduation rate of Mars?
Graduation rate is about between 60 and 70%. What we have found is that if we can get students through that first year, making that transition to college, the longer they stay at the college, the more likely they're going to be successful and graduate. So by the time they get to their junior year, if they're still enrolled, they're going to graduate.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good percentage. We have some colleges in the area that their graduating is between 16% overall, and when it comes to minorities, we're talking about 9% graduation rate. And when we start looking at that for college graduations around the country, you may have a large graduation rate, but when it comes to minorities, that percentage shrinks dramatically. And you're talking about an HBCU, and you got an 80%, 70, 60, 70, 80% graduation rate. That is absolutely a phenomenal graduation rate. For those who are considering going to college, first of all, let's talk to the parents for a moment. What should parents be thinking about doing in preparation for their kids going to school?
Well, probably the number one thing you need to think about is cost. So on October 1st of every year, the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, opens up every year. And we always recommend students and parents sit down and do that as soon as possible, because a lot of times federal funds and other grants and aids that are related to the FAFSA, they're first come and first serve. So we try to get parents to do that as soon as possible. Well, once you do that, the next thing to do is to try to find the right fit for your child. You know your child better than anyone else. But what I can guarantee about Morris College is that we're going to take care of your child. We're going to take care of our students. We're called Hornet Nation. And so we try to make sure that everybody that's in the Hornet's Nest is taken care of and they have everything that they need. Our students being successful is one of the primary concerns that we have. For example, we have the Impact Specialist Program. So every student that comes to Morris College for their entire first year, they have an impact specialist that they are assigned to. And that person meets with them for an entire year. They meet once a week, face to face, and they just talk about what's going on. If the student needs an advocate, if the student needs a mentor, if the student needs a hug or some snacks, that's what that person is there for, because we realize how important that crucial first year is of being successful in college.
Oh, that's wonderful. What else? So for the students, now what word do you have for our students?
Okay, so for the students, we also have athletics programs. We have all the major sports except football, and we are Division I in the NAIA. We have over 50 clubs and organizations on campus. So any club and organization that you have in your high school campus or in your high school, we have the equivalent in college. So we encourage everyone to be active as possible. We also have 8 of the Divine 9 Greek fraternities and sororities. So if you watch some of the movies and some of the TV shows that talk about Greek life, we have that life at Morris College, and it's a very integral part of what we do, because not only do we want our students to be good academically, but we want you to be socially adept and be able to be a good citizen once you finish your academic studies and graduate.
I think, can you talk a little bit about the importance of HBCUs?
Well, the importance of HBCUs is a topic that has come up a lot in the last few years. People wonder, are HBCUs still relevant? And yes, they are, because there are nuances that young African Americans and minority students experience that can't be expressed in words. But being at a HBCU, a historically black college or university, we know how to reach that student who has concerns that they can't express verbally or they can't express emotionally. And a lot of times those are the things that determine whether or not a student is successful. Most of the time what we've learned over the years is that it's not the academic reasons why most students drop out of college. There are other concerns they have. Could be emotional, it could be some family issues, it could be a host of other things, not academic. But being at an HBCU, we can relate to our students, and it's also a good thing to have an instructor or a professor who looks just like you, who has the same experiences that you have, and they can be an example to show you that you can accomplish this. I was once sitting where you're sitting, and this is where I am, and you can be here too.
Yeah, that's a good question to, a thing to bring up. What is the minority stats for those who for faculty?
Okay, so we have a very diverse faculty, about 80% African American, about 20% other minorities and white. But what I really like is about 80% of our faculty and staff have the highest degree in their respective academic areas. So we make sure our students get the top quality education that they would get anywhere else. We're accredited by SAC-COC, which is our accrediting body. So just like some of the other HBCUs and PWIs, we have the same accreditation. In fact, back about 2 months ago.
You have to explain PWI.
All right, predominantly white institutions.
Okay.
Yes. But what I was saying was that the same standards academically that all those other institutions have to meet, we met those and exceeded those. In fact, we just got reaccredited for another 10 years. And that's a big feat to show that a student can graduate from our college and their degree is going to be recognized anywhere they go in this country.
Tell us a little bit about the campus. I already said I've been to Morris College campus many times. I was just there, maybe was it a couple of months ago, and was there and saw some of the students that came from Atlantic City. And you already said those students are already participating, already engaged, and everyone I talked to love the campus, love the school, love the instructors. And you've established a good relationship with them. And it was also, I was speaking to Reverend Daniels, we were there together, and Reverend Daniels said that the president stopped and he watched the president stop and, interact with the students and that kind of thing, and how impressed he was by it, because that's the kind of school it is, a family school. But tell us a little about the campus and campus life.
Okay. So a little bit about the Morris College campus. We have a little over 100 acres inside our campus footprint, with about 16 different buildings. We have 8 residence halls because we are a residential campus. So our students live on the main campus, and they're separated by gender. We have 4 residence halls for women, 4 residence halls for males, and we determine our living arrangements by classification. So all the freshmen live with the freshmen, sophomores and juniors live together, and the seniors have their own residence halls. So that's how that's situated. But, you mentioned something a few minutes ago about back in the spring, we sent a bus up to get some of the Atlantic City students and bring them down to the campus, and that was done on purpose. The reason we do that is because our campus is so beautiful, it's so welcoming, that we know that most students, once they come and visit our campus, they never want to leave. So to kind of visualize where Sumter, South Carolina is, where we're located, if you were to take your finger and put in the center of South Carolina, you'll be touching Morris College. We're located about 1 hour and 15 minutes from Myrtle Beach, about 2 hours from Charlotte, about 3 hours from Atlanta. So we're right in the heart of everything. We're not far from Charleston, South Carolina, a lot of history, and that's one of the big things that we try to do at Morris College. In addition to learning about Morris College and their academic studies, we try to let our students learn about the Black culture, the African American culture, and Charleston is such a great hub for that, and a wealth of information about how our people came to this country and how they migrated to different areas. But a lot of them came through Charleston, South Carolina.
Now, you've been in our area just for the last few days, and what have you been doing in the area?
I've been going to different high schools and accepting students. It's like I said, I came up back, I think it was March earlier this year, and came up and met some wonderful students. We accepted 48 students from Atlantic City High School, 27 from Pleasantville High School, and we brought them down to the campus, and they loved it. So we want to try to replicate that. So I'm back up here again recruiting more students, and this is for the parents. You may have some apprehension about sending your child all the way down to South Carolina, but like I mentioned earlier, we're going to take care of your child. But this is what parents really like to hear. Morris College does not charge any out-of-state tuition. Our tuition for a year, and this includes everything: tuition, room, board, food, everything except books, for $22,924.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that at all.
No. Listen, don't limit your appeal to Atlantic City area. We've got people that watch in Georgia and California, and especially our friends. And I guess we need to talk about that. Our friends who are in, our Filipino friends in the Philippines, and our friends who support our program and watch our program in Africa and those who are in India and our other partners around the world. Do you have an international student program?
We are building our international student program right now. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a program, because right now the way our semesters work, we have about 2 weeks between every semester. So we're trying to create an international program whereby international students don't have to go home at the end of every semester. We realize that that could be very expensive. So we're trying to set up a program where our students can live on our campus year round. And once that's in place, there are going to be no stopping us. So we welcome all international students, anyone around the country, to apply to Morris College. Our website is www.morris.edu. In the left top corner, there is the word apply for our online application. To qualify for admission, we're an open enrollment institution. So as long as the student has at least a 2.0 GPA, they've graduated with a high school diploma or a GED, we will admit them right on the spot as soon as we get proof of their high school completion or their transcripts from their high school.
I think that it's so important, because what it tells you and lets people know who think they're not college material, don't have, because some of our children are late bloomers. They don't, they go through and they get to high school, get to the latter year, the senior year, and then they're starting to put it together and know that they need to be serious about high school, serious about their education. And so often people think they can't go to college. Here's an opportunity for you to go and get that 4-year degree, and how important it is today, even more so with the great competition, to get a college education, but also to get an affordable college education. And Morris has produced some great students, and we're really grateful for that. And maybe you need to speak to that as well. How and why, because there are those who are saying you're talking about whether HBCs are relevant. Some people are even questioning whether, a 4-year degree is relevant. Can you speak to that for us?
Yeah, of course. A 4-year degree is still relevant. Going to college is still relevant. And the reason why is because college is just not about the academics. It's also about the social aspects. It's about the networking. The classroom is just not the professor, putting out information and the students receiving it. You also learn from the other students in the classroom. The classroom is a dynamic environment. So, of course, college degrees are still relevant, because that degree is only going to open the door for you. That's the only thing it's going to do. But what happens is those other skills that you learn in college, being part of the student body organizations, being in fraternities and sororities, given the opportunity to compete in college athletics, it gives you a lot of different skills that you can't get just watching YouTube videos or taking online classes. There's some social aspects that you can't get without being in the classroom, and we think we're really good at that, and we encourage our students to do that.
Well, I really appreciate you coming and sharing with us, Dr. Hall. Is there any, what you have given so far has been so informative. I've learned some things about Morris that I didn't even know. Can you give us some closing words and encouragement to parents and to students who think they may not be able to go? Can you just give us some encouragement words?
Yeah, I was thinking while you were speaking a few minutes ago about a lot of students think that they're not college material. And that goes to the foundation of why Morris College exists. As I said earlier, Morris College was created by former slaves and the sons and daughters of slaves to provide opportunities for young people who otherwise would not have access to higher education. And 114 years later, we are still doing that. And when I talk to young people that are interested in college or they're interested in pursuing higher education, I let them know that college is the opportunity for you to start over, to reinvent yourself. You have to unconnect from your past, because your past does not necessarily dictate who you are. It's where you want to go and what your future endeavors are, and you need to let that pull you. So if you're looking for a college home, make it Morris. If you're looking for somewhere to start over and reinvent yourself, make it Morris. If you just want to come and get an excellent education at an affordable price, make it Morris. Thank you, Pastor Days, for having me. I enjoyed my time with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is chall@morris.edu. That's chall@morris.edu. Or you can call me on our phone number, area code 803-934-3225. 803-934-3225. We look forward to seeing you on the Morris College campus soon.
Thank you, Dr. Hall, for sharing with us, and what great information you gave, and thank you so much for being here and all that you're doing. We're really excited, and we look forward to working with Mars and seeing it more students, not just young students, but there's some other folk that want to reinvent themselves, as Dr. Hall said. Come on, you're welcome as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of Family Check-In tonight. We missed you on Sunday. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and we pray that God bless you real good. And we'll see you Wednesday night as well as Sunday morning. God bless everybody.